Sawasdee good morning and welcome to Morning Thailand. I'm Wanasan Kriyahong.
And I'm Palada Muksidi.
Now, of course, Kunbo, there's a lot of updates for sure, especially yesterday. I think it was one of the events where a lot of people were quite surprised. Well, not here in Thailand. I would say a lot of people in global community, because don't forget, we have been almost at the brink of war. I would have to say a lot of people was talking about the situation in Thailand, in the capital, to see whether or not it would take to the point where civil war actually started, because it looks quite bad with the tear gas and such. And yesterday, Ratchadamnern Avenue was just turned into, some people call it heaven on earth, because there's a lot of lights, decorations, as well as a lot of the street clearing and such. You would not remember what it looks like just a day or two before.
Yes, completely
now, of course,
different.
Exactly. And yesterday, there are a lot of people that went to the province, especially in Hua Hin district of Prachuap Khiri Khan province. Now, that's due to the fact that this year is the very first time that the December the 5th and His Majesty the King will actually grant the grand public audience outside of the capital, due to the fact that His Majesty was not very well, and they both, actually, Their Majesty King and Queen, are residing in the Klai Kangwon Palace of Hua Hin district. As you can see there, the motorcade actually get into the area at about 10:14 a.m. in the morning, and this is the road in front of the Klai Kangwon Palace. They say that this is Phet Kasem Road. They say that the outbound and inbound were actually closed down to allow the royal motorcades to pass through the area. And like Kun Phai has mentioned yesterday, some people got there as early as 2 days before, just to save the spot where they are standing. As you can see there, a lot of people were very happy, and the royal motorcade, you can easily see Their Majesty King and Queens inside, because the film, actually they do not have any film to cover the window at all, due to the fact that they would like to allow all the public to get a chance to see His Majesty the King quite clearly. And
I also believe that some of the people who traveled there, I'm not sure if it was also included, the people who went there, 2 days in advance or not, said that, all of their life, being 35 years old, this is the very first time that they had the opportunity to go there. So,
it's true.
That's why we see that they're, just in tears to be able, to see His Majesty the King.
Exactly. So as His Majesty approached to the venues, His Majesty was he was actually transferred from the car using the electric wheelchairs. Excuse me. There you go. And this is the 21 salutes, and as you can see, it's a cannon salute. So this is one of the biggest event, and it was done by both the Army, the Navy, as well as the Air Force. So I would say 63 guns salutes all together, and the event started with His Royal Highness Crown Prince actually have sent the well wishes to His Majesty the King, and later afterward would be the turns of Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra and the House Speaker Kun Somsak Kiat-Suranon, who also sent out the well wishes for His Majesty the King as well, on behalf of all the Thai politicians and such. And later on, the Chief Marshal Air Force, not Chief Marshal, I'm sorry, General Thanasak, there you go, General Thanasak Patimaprakan, of course, also have extended the well wishes on behalf of all the armed forces as well. So it was one of the most interesting day and joyous day yet for all the Thai people. Now, later on, His Majesty the King also have given out a speech. He has thanked all the Thai people who actually came to Hua Hin to grant him the well wishes, and His Majesty has talked about the one of the things in the speech that has been highlighted in many newspaper is the fact that he was talking about the public duty and such. He pressed hard on that one. He said, Thais should be aware of this and to be determined to perform their duty for the benefit of the public, which is stability and security of the country. Now, he have also mentioned that Thailand has been in harmony and, a lot of people are actually in unity for such a long time. And this is the time where he pressed that all the Thai people will actually work together, making sure that everyone knows their own responsibility and do it accordingly for the greater goods. And that way it will lead the country to a better situation and such. And during the time when His Majesty the King provided his speech, a lot of people were actually choked up in tears because don't forget, His Majesty is 86 this year. So yes. Sometimes when he was reading, he has to pause quite a bit. A lot of people were quite concerned, but they were very happy because a lot of people say that during the time when His Majesty was in the royal motorcade, when he passes through all the public and such that actually were there to get a chance to get a glimpse of him, he has a little smile on his face, and that was one of the things that touched a lot of people because it has been such a long time we get to see him in the public. Plus, there's not much to smile about. Don't forget, the conflict in the country has disheartened His Majesty the King quite a bit, and of course a lot of Thai people as well. And this is one of the things that I believe, and Kun Bo, you will talk about it a little bit, is that a lot of the foreign media were actually quite surprised to see this particular event as well.
That's right. And mentioning about all of the foreign media, like you said, it includes Reuters, AP, AFP, CNN, BBC, just to name a few, that all agreed that it was very surprising, like you said, but it was more like they all agreed that it was because all Thais realized and knew that there had to be a truce. They had to make it calm, and this is all for the preparation for yesterday as well, for His Majesty the King's birthday. And they also had their special reports, of course, that were out about His Majesty the King at the Ratchapracha Samakom Pavilion of the Klaikawon Palace in Prachuap Khiri Khan, Hua Hin district, like you said. And the reporters said that His Majesty granted audience amid the politically tense situation that was going on in the country. However, that halt that we saw, that temporary truce between the anti-government protesters and also the police or against the government itself was something that all Thais assumed that it was something that all of them were supposed to do.
Right.
And it's a sign that, all Thais are united for His Majesty the King, showing their loyalty and love and stopping everything for the preparation and the celebration of His Majesty's birthday. And just to mention a little bit more, for example, The Guardian and Singapore's Channel News Asia and also Straits Times also said that this kind of response was likely in preparation for His Majesty the King's birthday. And they quoted the National Security Council Chief Paradon Patanathabut as well, saying that there's a mutual understanding that everything must be calm and orderly on this auspicious day. However, all of the media outlets are aware as well that this truce is temporarily, very sadly. Bloomberg, for example, quoted the protest leader Suthep Thaugsuban saying that from December the 6th, we will resume the fight every day, every hour, and every minute until we achieve victory. So the halt was between the 4th and the 5th. The 4th was kind of like a big cleaning day, we can say, and the 5th was the celebration that we saw yesterday, and today is already the next day.
Right, and as you can see earlier, there's a lot of candle lighting ceremonies and such, and a lot of fireworks display for all the Thai in terms of celebrating December the 5th, which is also the National Father's Day here in Thailand. It just shows you that when it comes to our king, we'll stop everything just to make sure that he's probably he gets the proper respect that he deserves. And one of the things is there's various events you probably get to see around town. Anyway, I encourage you to take a look at all the exhibition. If you're in Bangkok right now, Siam Paragon has the various exhibition explaining about his hard work and dedication for the nation, as well as his talent as a musician as well. He was well known for that. All right, moving on to another happy news for Thai. At this point, we haven't talked much about the fact that SEA Games is ongoing right now. And this is where all the Southeast Asian nations got together and, of course, compete in a sport event. However, at this point, there has been another report of gold medals that has been snatched by the Thai team already. Now, this particular sport is very interesting. It's called Chinlone, excuse me. And they say that the Chinlone is actually quite similar if you have heard about takraw before in Thailand. This particular sport is actually traditional to Myanmar. And of course, at this time, they say that it doesn't have any hoops for you to actually, kick it in, or it doesn't have any nets either. So it's quite different from takraw that we have seen before, which is quite traditional for the Thai sports.
So we can say that it doesn't really look like a competition
exactly.
Right?
If you can see, like, this is in circles.
Okay.
So what they did is 6 players in each team. What they do is they have to show us skills of passing on the balls itself, and it's a wicker ball, just pretty much like the takraw balls that we have seen before. And they say that the team was divided into women and men, of course. And yesterday, both men and women teams from Thailand got the gold medal. So that was one of the biggest events. And they say that this particular sport is actually quite hard, and it actually takes a lot of energy out of you because you have to display a lot of skills.
Yeah, I think the thing is it's harder because all of them have to be very focused, and they all have to have the same rhythm and pace and everything, and the pattern, everything has to be, syncing. Otherwise, if they,
And you cannot drop it, obviously.
Yeah.
And they say that they have to look at the, I guess, it's almost like dancing. Like, how do you place your bodies,
right?
exactly, and such. So it's quite interesting. That was one of the things. Now, giving you a little bit more information in terms of who did they competed with, they say that yesterday the women's team actually was able to get the gold medal after they were competing against let me see here. The women teams was competing against Laos, excuse me. Now, the women teams got 222 points, while Laos got 192 points. So we received the gold medal. Now, as for the Thai team, we were competing with Cambodia. We received 256 points, while Cambodia got 236 points. So at this point, another competition, the final ones will be on the 9th of December. And the thing is, we're competing with Myanmar, which is the host country, as well as the country that the sport originated from. So it's going to be tough. They say that they're probably hoping best for maybe the second place, the silver, but hey, anything could happen, right? It's a sport. If you can actually master whatever you're doing, I'm pretty sure that we can easily snatch gold as well.
Okay, let's get our fingers crossed that we're going to get that gold medal. Anyways, moving on for more of the news that is happening here. And in particular, let's take a look at some of the news concerning the cold breeze that we see at the moment. Lots of tourists are actually flocking to particular places that seem to have a very romantic and a coolie kind of atmosphere. And of course, it's, the famous places here in the country. especially at the mountaintops, in particular in Doi Inthanon as well as Pukradung. These are pretty famous places for several years already that we see people going to, and the reservations and the bookings have been fully packed all the way till almost, the beginning of next year already. And this is due to the temperatures dropping, not going below 10 degrees Celsius yet, but lots of people are really very interested in taking their bookings there.
Right.
The officials also mentioned that they had to have their temporary tents being put out because, of the amount of people that have been booking or making reservations at the several areas in the mountaintops. Now, apart from that, that's the good news, but however, we also saw some bad news for the south as well in some of the provinces that are facing the flooding situation. Just to mention, at the moment, the governors of Loi and Chiang Mai province, they have joined hands in setting up a center to help ease the cold situation in 4 particular districts. And this is despite the good news of tourists flocking, to these tourist destinations. But due to the cold breeze, of course, the people in the locals in the area are actually suffering from it because they're there, 24 hours. They're not there just for a couple of days like the tourist would be. So it seems like there is a problem for the reporting of some shortages in blankets and jackets as well for them. At least 300,000 of these blankets and jackets are still in need. And apart from that, just to get into the details here, for example, for the northern part of the country, by the way, this has been a warning coming from the Metropolitan Department, who has come out to mention that people should be aware of their health. They should take care of themselves, especially for the respiratory diseases that could occur. While, according to the Chiang Mai governor, Wichian Puttiwinyu, he has mentioned that he also set up one of the temporary centers to help the people who have been affected by the cold spell. While there has been the working with the provincial authorities to help assist the people who have been affected, and the cold hit zones for a particular district, like I said earlier, includes Omkoi, Phang, Jom Thong, and also Matam. And the temperatures have been dropping to already 15 degrees Celsius, and it's been more than 3 continuous days already. So that's why the people in the area are starting to, not being able to survive it. At the moment. But for Loi province, this is also another case that they mentioned that at least 138,000 households have been affected by the cold weather. But for the governor of the province, Wirot Jiwarangsan, he mentioned that this year is going to be colder than the past previous years. While some bad news, like I said, just to mention a little bit about the south, they are facing the flooding situation.
Right, and I'll give you a little bit more information on that in the next break. Of course, we're gonna have to take a short break right now because we're going a little bit over time. But of course, when we come back, like I promised you, the weather forecast for the south as well as violence that's still ongoing. And of course, we're gonna report a little bit about the demonstration to anticipate it about it today as well, because of course, after December the 5th, they say that everything gonna just resume back to normal. All right, let's take a short break.